hope you like your spooky, paranormal, psychic story times long, because this is a long one. When we moved to our house on the border of a Native American reservation with a big section of woods behind us and to the side of us, I expected peace and quiet, right? Well, instead, we got non-stop paranormal activity every single night. I am a psychic medium, so I'm used to connecting with spirits and seeing a lot of strange things that are unexplainable, okay? But this was ridiculous. Even my husband was seeing things that I was seeing, which for him is not normal. Right away, when we moved in, I could immediately feel that there were a lot of spirits in and around the house. Within the first few days, I started seeing shadow figures walking around the house in the daytime and at night. I was hearing voices and I was hearing footsteps, like the floorboards were moving in the middle of the night. When I saw what looked like dark gray sand appearing out of thin air and gathering together in the form of a figure in my bathroom doorway while I was brushing my teeth, I said, "Get out of here, that's enough. You're freaking me out." Did a house cleansing, which if you want me to make a video about, I can, and this actually helped a lot. As a matter of fact, it eliminated all of the freaky experiences. I have never felt or seen any negative spirit in the house since. I even felt a huge gust of wind leaving the house during the last step of the cleansing. However, the paranormal activity, it did not slow down, okay? It just felt more positive, which I was happy about, and friendly, less spooky. For instance, a few months later, I saw this red misty, it was huge, this huge red misty cloud in our living room out of our bedroom door. So I got up to kind of investigate, get a closer look, and it was just hovering around the ceiling. It had a very grounding, calming feeling about it, which sounds weird, but it did. And it was still there after I went and looked around the rest of the house to see if it was like somewhere else or if something else was going on. Anyways, I shut my door, I went back to sleep, didn't want to think about it. Maybe a week later, I woke up and I saw this glowing blue figure out standing in the living room out of our bedroom door. So I said out loud, "Get out of here. Tired, you know." So I got up, to go shut the door, and I ran right into the door because the door was already shut. When I was pregnant with my daughter is when things really started to like take off to a whole nother level, okay? One night I woke up and I saw this like neon green tennis ball looking orb in my bedroom, and it floated over to me and it disappeared once it got close to me. And it was strange. It looked like a tennis ball. It was the color of a tennis ball and everything, except it was glowing and it was like kind of see-through. There was this very like warm, peaceful, comforting feeling about the orb. It got even stranger, all right? I woke up. My husband was awake this time. He was on his phone and I saw this neon green tattered rag. Very weird. It had the same positive vibe about it and the same tennis ball color about it. And it floated over to me and it did the same thing. It disappeared once it got close to me. I for sure thought my husband saw this, so I looked over and I said, "Oh my gosh, did you just see that?" And he said, "No, I was on my phone." "What was it?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I would have said something." But that's how I knew it wasn't a dream. He was awake, okay? I tuned in and I could kind of feel that it was like an ancient spirit that was protecting me because I was pregnant. You know, the tattered rag, ancient, you know, that kind of connection. Anyways, this is where a whole nother dimension opened up for me. I went into the bathroom in the middle of the night for like the 100th time because I was pregnant, and something caught my eye out of the window straight back to the woods. I could see this neon tennis ball colored green woman with long flowing hair and a long flowing dress, and it looked like it was like being blown by a fan. I knew that she had been the one visiting me at night. I felt a very intense surge of peace and calm as my eyes focused in on her, and I looked at her for about 30 seconds and I thought, okay, cool, thank you, I'm good night, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. Of course, I started looking out the windows after that every night, trying to catch another glimpse of her or maybe something else, which is how me and my husband started seeing the little blue lights flying around the woods, among other things, for about 5 months straight, every single night. Okay, this is getting pretty long. I think I'm gonna have to share the rest in part 2, okay? So I'll see you in part 2. Thank you for listening this long if you've stayed with me.